My beloved child, while the world was sleeping and silence covered every room like a hidden veil, your soulmate lay beside someone they believed they were supposed to love, someone chosen by pressure, by timing, by fear, by expectations they never had the courage to escape. Yet even with another heartbeat resting inches away from them, even with another hand touching their skin, even with another name attached to their future, their soul refused to surrender the memory of you, because some connections are not erased by distance, marriage, silence, or time, and all night long your presence haunted their spirit so deeply that every dream became a doorway leading back to you. And listen. They tried to fight it, they truly did. They tried to close their eyes and force themselves to accept the life standing in front of them, but every time sleep pulled them deeper, your voice appeared again, your smile appeared again, your energy wrapped around them again, and suddenly the person lying next to them began to feel like a stranger while you, the one far away, felt closer than ever before, because the soul does not follow logic, my child. It follows truth, and their truth has never stopped whispering your name in the deepest corners of their heart, even during the moments they pretended to move on, even during the days they convinced everyone they were happy, even during the ceremony where they smiled for pictures and nodded through promises they could barely feel, because secretly something inside them remained unfinished, unresolved, chained to the memory of you like destiny itself refused to release them, and all night their dreams exposed what their waking mind keeps trying to bury. They saw you standing in places filled with light. They heard your laughter echoing through moments they thought they forgot. They felt your touch without you even being there, and every dream carried the same painful message, that their spirit still belongs somewhere else, somewhere far beyond the life they settled for, and erase the truth. When someone dreams about you repeatedly while sleeping beside another person, it is not random emotion, it is emotional conflict tearing through their subconscious, because the soul cannot lie while the body sleeps, and your soulmate's soul has become exhausted pretending they no longer feel you. Because no matter how hard they try to act normal during the day, the night keeps revealing the reality hidden underneath their mask. And last night was different, my child, because the dreams became stronger than before, more emotional, more vivid, more impossible to ignore. They dreamed of reaching for you in desperation. They dreamed of losing you forever. They dreamed of seeing you walk away while they stood powerless, unable to stop you, and they woke up with panic sitting heavily in their chest because for the first time they realized that the life they chose cannot silence the connection they still carry for you. But wait. The most painful part was not the dream itself, it was waking up afterward and realizing you were not beside them, realizing the person next to them was not the one their heart had been searching for all night, and in that quiet early morning moment, before the sun fully rose, regret entered their spirit like cold rain, because deep down they understood something terrifying. They may have built an entire future around the wrong person while the one their soul truly desired remained far away. Wondering why everything suddenly feels so emotionally heavy, and yes, my child, you have been feeling it too, the sudden emotional waves, the random memories, the strange pull toward them, the dreams, the unexplained sadness mixed with hope, because energetic connections travel across distance when two souls remain emotionally tied, and last night their longing reached you stronger than ever before. Even if you could not fully explain it. And listen carefully. Your soulmate has started noticing the emptiness around them more intensely now. The conversations beside them feel forced, the affection feels rehearsed, the smiles feel temporary, while thoughts of you arrive naturally without effort, without warning, without invitation, and every attempt they make to ignore you only pushes your memory deeper into their heart, because suppression creates obsession when feelings are real, and secretly. They compare everyone to you now, every laugh, every conversation, every moment, and no matter how much they try to deny it, nobody touches their soul the way you did, nobody awakened the parts of them that came alive around you, because you were never just another person in their story, you became the emotional home their spirit still searches for during the darkest hours of the night. And that realization is beginning to destroy the illusion they worked so hard to maintain, because once the soul recognizes where it truly belongs, pretending becomes painful, exhausting, unbearable, and your soulmate is reaching that breaking point now, the point where silence no longer protects them from truth, the point where they wake up emotionally drained because their dreams refuse to stop replaying your energy over and over again. And listen. Last night they almost said your name out loud while sleeping, almost exposed the feelings they have been hiding from everyone around them, because the subconscious mind does not care about appearances or responsibilities. It only reveals desire, fear, regret, and truth, and their truth is becoming impossible to control. They miss you more than they admit, they think about you more than they should, and they fear that destiny may give you to someone else while they remain trapped inside a life that no longer feels emotionally real, and that fear is growing stronger every single day, because they sense your energy slowly changing, becoming stronger, more independent, less emotionally available, and secretly that terrifies them because part of them believed you would always wait, always remain emotionally connected no matter how much distance existed between you. But now they feel your spirit pulling away, and suddenly the possibility of truly losing you has become real inside their heart, and erase the truth. Nothing awakens hidden love faster than the fear of permanent loss, and your soulmate is beginning to understand exactly what they sacrificed when they walked away from this connection, because no matter how beautiful their current life looks from the outside, their inner world remains restless, incomplete, emotionally hungry for something only you ever provided, and all night the dreams force them to relive memories they tried to forget, the moments your eyes met theirs with unspoken understanding, the moments your presence brought peace into their chaotic mind, the moments they felt emotionally safe without pretending to be someone else, and now every one of those memories has returned with painful clarity, because destiny is pushing them to confront what they abandoned before it becomes too late. And listen carefully, my child. There is a reason the universe keeps placing you in their dreams instead of allowing them emotional peace, because unresolved soul connections do not disappear through avoidance, they grow louder through separation until truth is finally acknowledged, and your soulmate is slowly reaching the point where they can no longer silence what they feel for you, even if the world around them tells them to stay committed to the path they already chose. Because the heart eventually rebels against emotional imprisonment, and theirs is already beginning to break free, but secretly. They are ashamed too, ashamed that they ignored their intuition, ashamed that they hurt both themselves and you by choosing comfort over truth, ashamed that they built a life while still emotionally connected to someone else, and this shame keeps them trapped between guilt and longing, unable to fully move forward yet terrified to look backward, and every night the dreams intensify because the soul becomes louder when ignored during the day. And last night your soulmate woke up exhausted, emotionally shaken, staring at the ceiling while the person beside them slept peacefully, unaware that someone else had occupied their partner's entire subconscious all night long. And in that moment your soulmate realized something they cannot escape anymore. Their deepest emotional connection was never truly replaced, only hidden, and now the hidden feelings are rising back to the surface stronger than before. Because time does not destroy real soul bonds, it exposes them, tests them, transforms them, and eventually forces them into the light. And listen. Even now, as you hear these words, your soulmate may be pretending everything is normal, going through routines, smiling in conversations, acting emotionally stable, but underneath that performance their mind keeps drifting back to the dreams, back to you, back to the feeling they experienced while sleeping, because dreams bypass the lies people tell themselves, and their dreams revealed where their heart still lives, and erase the truth. Your soulmate is beginning to realize that loving you was never the problem. The real problem was fear, fear of uncertainty, fear of judgment, fear of choosing a path that demanded emotional honesty instead of safety. And now they are learning the painful lesson that safety without true emotional connection eventually becomes emptiness, and no amount of routine, comfort, or appearances can replace what the soul genuinely desires. And suddenly they are noticing how lifeless everything feels without your energy in their world, how conversations lack depth, how affection feels mechanical, how their smile disappears the moment they are alone, because the soul becomes restless when separated from the connection that once made it feel alive. And but wait. The universe is not showing them these dreams by accident. It is preparing them for emotional awakening, preparing them to confront choices they avoided, preparing them to understand that some people enter your life temporarily while others become permanently woven into your spirit, and you, my child, became woven into theirs in a way they still do not fully understand. Which is why even sleeping beside another person could not stop them from searching for you in their dreams, because your connection exists beyond physical distance, beyond circumstances, beyond the labels life tried to place between you, and secretly they are starting to wonder if meeting you was fate they were never supposed to escape. Because every attempt to move on emotionally has failed, every distraction has faded, every denial has collapsed the moment night arrives and their subconscious begins calling for you again, and this emotional conflict is becoming harder for them to hide from themselves, because pretending loses power when the heart refuses cooperation. And your soulmate's heart has stopped cooperating with the life they settled into, and now the smallest reminders of you affect them deeply. A song, a scent, a random phrase, a certain hour of the night, and suddenly their chest tightens because memories of you flood back stronger than ever. And listen carefully. They are beginning to realize that you were not just a phase, not just an emotional attachment, not just another romantic possibility. You were the person who awakened something sacred inside them, something no one else has been able to reach since, and that realization is shaking the foundation of everything they believed about love, commitment, and destiny, because real love does not disappear simply because circumstances changed. And your soulmate is finally confronting that truth whether they are ready or not, and all night their spirit searched for yours because deep inside they still feel emotionally incomplete without you, and the painful part is they know they caused much of this distance themselves. They know fear pushed them away, they know silence damaged the connection, and now regret follows them into sleep because they understand what they risk losing forever, and erase the truth. The more they try to suppress their emotions, the more intense the dreams become, because the soul demands honesty eventually, and your soulmate can only run from their feelings for so long before emotional exhaustion forces them to face reality, and reality is this: no matter who lies beside them physically, their spirit continues reaching for you emotionally. And that inner conflict is becoming impossible to ignore anymore. And listen. The universe is teaching them a painful lesson through these dreams, teaching them that emotional truth cannot be buried beneath obligation, appearances, or fear forever, because the soul always returns to what genuinely moves it, and your soulmate's soul keeps returning to you again and again and again, especially during the quiet hours of the night when defenses collapse and only truth remains, and secretly. They wish they could speak to you right now, wish they could explain everything they never had courage to say, wish they could confess how often they think about you, how deeply they miss your energy, how empty things feel without the emotional intensity you brought into their life. But fear still holds them back because they know reopening this connection could change everything permanently, and yet remaining silent is becoming equally unbearable, because every dream pulls them closer toward emotional honesty whether they admit it or not, and your soulmate is reaching a turning point now, a moment where the heart can no longer survive pretending it belongs somewhere it emotionally does not, and the signs are everywhere: the restless sleep, the emotional distance from others, the sudden memories, the longing, the dreams, the heaviness in their chest every morning after seeing you again in their subconscious. Because their spirit remembers what their mind tried to forget. And listen carefully, my child. Do not underestimate the power of being deeply loved by someone who failed to fully let you go, because even when life separates two people physically, emotional energy continues moving between souls that remain connected at the deepest level. And your soulmate's energy has been reaching toward you more intensely now because they are finally feeling the consequences of denying their true emotions. And every dream is forcing them to relive the love they attempted to bury beneath responsibilities and expectations, and but secretly. They are beginning to question everything. Questioning whether the choices they made truly brought happiness, questioning whether the person beside them can ever replace what they lost with you, questioning whether destiny is giving them one final chance to acknowledge the truth before it slips away forever. And these questions are haunting them more every day, because once the soul awakens, it becomes impossible to return fully to emotional sleep. And your soulmate has awakened to the reality that their feelings for you never truly ended, they only became hidden beneath layers of denial, and now those layers are breaking apart one dream at a time, and all night long your presence wrapped around their subconscious so powerfully that when morning came they felt emotionally torn between two worlds, the life they live and the love they cannot forget. And that inner division is growing stronger now, because deep down they know the person their soul searched for in dreams was never the one sleeping beside them. It was always you. My beloved child, and now your soulmate can no longer escape the silence inside their own heart, because every morning after those dreams they wake up carrying a strange emptiness that nobody around them understands. And listen. They are starting to realize that pretending to be emotionally fulfilled is far more exhausting than admitting the truth they buried long ago, because your memory keeps appearing in moments when it should not, during quiet car rides, during late-night conversations, during random hours when the world becomes still and their mind drifts back to the person who once made their soul feel alive without effort, and secretly. They replay old moments with you over and over again, wondering if destiny was trying to warn them before everything changed, wondering if fear made them walk away from the very connection they were always meant to protect, and now guilt follows them everywhere because they understand your heart carried pain too, yet you still love them in a way nobody else ever has, and erase the truth. Their spirit recognizes your energy even when distance separates you, because real soul connections leave permanent fingerprints on the heart, and every dream is becoming more emotional now because time is running out for them to keep hiding behind excuses. And last night, after waking suddenly from another dream about you, they stared into darkness, realizing the person beside them could never calm the storm inside their chest the way you once did naturally, and that realization shook them deeply. Because they finally understood that emotional peace cannot be forced, it can only be felt, and with you it was always felt without struggle, without performance, without masks. And listen carefully. Your soulmate has started noticing signs of you everywhere now, your favorite words appearing unexpectedly, songs connected to your memories playing at strange times, even your energy crossing their mind when they least expect it, because the universe is refusing to let this bond disappear quietly and secretly. They have already imagined reaching out to you many times, imagined hearing your voice again, imagined confessing how much they still think about you, but fear stops them at the last second because they know one honest conversation could awaken emotions too powerful to control anymore. And yet silence hurts them even more now, because every day without you feels emotionally heavier than the day before. And but wait. The strongest realization came when they understood that even after trying to build a completely different life, their heart still searches for you first during moments of vulnerability, sadness, loneliness, and emotional truth, because you became the emotional safe place their spirit never truly left behind. And now the walls they built around their feelings are cracking faster than ever before. And listen. Your soulmate is beginning to accept something they once denied completely. They never stopped loving you. They only tried to survive without you. And there is a difference between surviving and truly feeling alive. And their soul knows that difference now more painfully than ever, because every dream about you leaves behind an ache that lasts long after morning arrives. And secretly, they fear you may eventually stop feeling connected to them, stop thinking about them, stop leaving emotional space for them in your heart. And that fear is becoming unbearable, because deep inside they know they may not deserve another chance, yet their spirit still longs for one anyway. And erase the truth. Destiny sometimes separates two souls not to end the connection but to force emotional awakening before reunion becomes possible, and your soulmate is finally awakening to truths they avoided for far too long, truths about love, regret, fear, and the irreplaceable connection they still carry for you even now. And every night the dreams continue because the universe knows their heart is no longer capable of living comfortably inside denial, and soon, very soon, emotions hidden in silence will begin searching for a voice, because a soul that keeps calling your name in dreams eventually reaches a point where it can no longer remain quiet in real life, and this connection, my child, is not ending in silence. It is moving toward revelation, toward truth, toward the moment both hearts finally understand why no amount of distance, time, or other people were ever strong enough to erase what existed between you from the very beginning.